Adam.
And you're listening to an episode of the PMMetalGuide podcast where we're talking about Opeth Ghost Reveries.
Whoa! It's like this wasn't telegraphed one bit at all.
Not at all. Is
No,
Ghost Reveries the best Opeth
Is
album?
it? We don't know. We'll have to talk about it and find
We're gonna
out.
talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
First, what have you been listening to?
Whoa! All right. Well, there's a couple of others.
Bro, I see
I know. This list.
Gent albums.
Okay, they're not bad Gent albums. They're the better of Gent albums. But I have been on a Gent kick this week. Why, I really can't tell you. Aside from that, though, there's been a lot of pretty freaking good music that came out in the last week or two. I guess we can just kind of go down the list. We can start with fucking, I don't know. Should we start with non-metal? All right, yeah. Armed.
They're freaking good, dude.
The Detroit
Anonymous Collective.
Anonymous Octet
Dude,
Collective.
have you read like the press releases for like this and or Only Love?
I read the Quietus interview, which has like everything in it. And then I know that with the most recent music video, they have names for the bands, but they might not actually be the actual names of the members of the band.
No, like, dude,
the
Armed is like 8, like they're like Andrew WK from the
future,
dude.
no, it's,
like
it's
the level
crazy.
of like bullshittery and post-internet like conspiracy theories they're just willing to indulge in is absurd.
Yeah.
Have you read the Stereogum interview they did?
No.
Well, so they did like a 20,000 word Stereogum interview where they just talk about bodybuilding for the upcoming album.
God.
And the whole time there are two members of the band that aren't actually members of the band, and then they show pictures that are of dudes that aren't real.
Yeah.
and it's hysterical.
Dude, Kurt Ballew's doing some crazy shit.
I honestly think it's Kurt Ballew's project. I think he's the head memer.
That's what people think, dude. People think that
you saw like in the very end of the Quietus interview where he says, "When I started the band."
Yeah.
I don't know. Anywho, the music is amazing. It's so good. Like, scarily good.
It's really interesting to listen to. This record is so strangely unique in its just complete fuckery and genre blending bullshit that it just completely encapsulates itself. The mix of noise pop and mathcore it shouldn't work, but you know what? God damn it does.
Yeah, and also like synths and just indie and post-hardcore. It really is everything. And I remember listening to Only Love like a few times, a few years ago when it came out, and be like, "Oh, this is pretty cool" or whatever. But now having listened to a lot more punk and a lot more noise, yeah, it's pretty bass. Like it's just really good. Like the reason it's called ultra pop is they sort of wanted to take like pop song structures and pop like sensibilities and just coat them in layers of like blackened hardcore and lightning bolt influence.
Yeah,
and they definitely do it. Like all the songs here have really like catchy vocal hooks.
Yeah,
it's just buried under like 15 different layers of
There's
shit.
so much noise, and you know what? The Fantano Why You Know review, where he basically said this is the one of the most compressed records he ever listened to. I don't disagree with him there, but I also don't think that takes away from it in maybe what his vision
I still think it
is.
sounds great, and the songs are clearly great, and like the whole sort of like new media marketing thing is pretty cool. I don't know, I'm a fan. We're officially like past the point of no return, just indie heads now. We're like, oh yeah, my favorite punk artist, The Armed.
Oh, The Armed, yeah. No,
I've heard of these guys. They're pretty underground.
They're pretty underground.
New Armed, incredible.
Yeah, it's really great. Yeah, it's pretty.
But
great.
Do you know what remains one of the best albums of all time?
Chocolate Starfish and the hot dog water.
And the hot dog flavored water. Bring it.
The hot dog flavored water. The love for Limp Bizkit online is growing. Or it's just coming out of the woodwork that's been hiding there for years.
Let's be real. Significant Other's probably better than Abbey Road.
I'm not going to make that claim, but if you're willing to, I implore you.
Seriously, dude. Chocolate Starfish, front to back, amazing record.
I'm glad you think that way, Sam.
One of my friends dropped acid, and then messaged me, and then listened to the entire Limp Bizkit discography, and he was like, dude, Fred Durst is like new levels of bass. And this is a kid who has like fairly patrician like indie and hip hop tastes. And I was just like, you know what? I'm glad the LIMP Bizkit is starting to get the critical acclaim they deserve, dude.
I'm not gonna say anything. I have no opinion.
You just gotta like listen to Chocolate Starfish when you play Civ for like a week, and then you'll be like, dude, bro.
But you know what is an actually amazing record that I'm sure both of us can agree on?
What?
The new Spectral Wound album, A Diabolic Thirst, that came out last Wednesday. Or last Friday. Yeah, wow. This record just kind of came out of nowhere, huh? Even, like, one of my indie head friends, that I will not name, that we are both aware of presence, was like, he literally texted me. He was like, dude, why is this new record so good? And I was like, I you know what? I was gonna mention it at some point, but I haven't yet. No, I don't know. This album just does black metal in every single way that black metal is done, and perfectly.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's super aggressive. It's both lo-fi and high fidelity. It really reminds me of like, I guess like late 90s, early 2000s, sort of like the blend of the Scandinavian and the American styles.
Yeah.
Like it feels like black metal Ulver met Leviathan.
Right.
And I don't know, it's really good. I've only listened to it a couple times.
I have extensively listened to it this week, and I will say that it is currently in the upper echelons of my top record of the year. Not all the way up there, but it's up there.
It's climbing.
It is climbing. It is currently in number. Gotta count 9 on my list for the year.
Bruh.
So I don't know. That
Does
says
RYM
anything.
like this album?
Huh?
Does RYM like this album?
It's number. I believe it's also number 9 for the for the year. Hold on, let me check. You can never tell. RYM is not a good indication. Scott Dream is number 1 for the year. So.
Yeah.
Diabolic Thirst is number 4, below Black Country New Road and Floating Points, and above Godspeed You Black Emperor and Mare Cognitum.
I'm so ignorant.
That's also a great record.
Oh, right. Speaking of Ska Dream, dude.
Yeah, talking about Ska
Dream. I do not like ska. I've never liked ska. I'm a pretty big... I don't know, not pretty big, but I like Jeff Rosenstock. I like his past few solo records. I think they're all solid. Really like the song Fame from last year. It's like one of my favorite tunes from 2020. And he released on 420 a redone version of No Dream, and every tune is just ska. And unironically, like, it really works. Like, it really does. Like, you hear the skank beats, you hear, you know, the with the rhythm section, you hear the lovely horns, you hear some pick it ups. It is like every meme you know about first through third wave ska, and done really well, and working in like this, I don't know, melancholic pop punk context. And Jeff Rosenstock's just a great songwriter, and surprisingly his tunes work really well in a ska context. And,
I'm glad to hear it.
No, seriously, dude, throw this on and you'll try not to skank in your living room.
Oh, I will. I bet I will.
It's quite good.
Yeah.
Let's talk about. Actually, I have a couple more things. So
I got
you
a few
listen
more
to the
things.
Liquid Tension Experiment?
I've listened to a couple of tracks from it, and I'm sure that the record's good, but I have no desire to listen to it.
So hear me out. It's actually pretty good, and I probably enjoy it more than most Dream Theater.
I can completely imagine that, though.
Like, because they just throw any and all pretensions of writing songs out of the window.
Right.
And just start, doing the signature Petrucci and Rudis.
Yeah, it's just a noodle. The whole thing is a noodle.
Like, you'll listen to the first song on this record, Homesick, and you'll be like, oh, I've heard every lick on this a million times, but you know what? It's pretty good.
I mean, obviously it's very well made. And very well,
honestly, though, hear me out.
But...
Like, there are a lot of, like, really, like, I guess, melodic licks in here, and, like, a really, like, a real attention to songcraft that I feel like they just, I don't know, they haven't done in a while. Like, to me, this is sacrilege for all of our Zoomer listeners, but I really do feel like this is more interesting than, like, Pliny or Polyphia by a long shot.
I agree.
No, seriously, dude. And, like, the cover of Rhapsody in Blue here is, like, genuinely great.
Fair enough. I'll throw it in my ads, but...
Seriously, I've been pleasantly surprised. And, like, right. I've been listening to way more Dream Theater for my Prague show every week. And every time I hear a Dream Theater song, I want to fucking die. But this record's good.
Okay, good.
Last thing I'll talk about... No. Before you can talk about the Phoebe Bridgers Cannibal Corpse album.
Yep.
Is this grindcore band or this power violence band, Regional Justice Center. Mm-hmm. So statistically, they're like, or I guess charts wise, they're the biggest power violence band in history. They dropped a record a few weeks ago called Crime and Punishment, and it literally charted on the Billboard Hot 100 for albums.
Have you done any research into this?
What do you mean?
All? Like, is there an explanation for that?
I think it's a number of things. But basically, from the way I understand it, is they're a drummer and singer just sort of ground the shit out of social media. And, like, did a bunch of covers this summer, did a bunch of, like, activism stuff, and really grew his community within, like, the power violence scene.
Gotcha.
And so the record released, and then just a million people bought it on Bandcamp because they're, like, one of those bands, or if you like hardcore,
right.
Like Drain or Gulch or Vane, like,
sure.
They're pretty big, and you'll like them.
Yeah.
And, I listened to it once. I'm not going to lie, it just sounds like power violence to me. Like, obviously it's well done, but... didn't strike me as anything too special, but it's really cool that, a fucking power violence record can chart in 2021.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree.
Dude, these songs are based.
Like,
seriously.
I mean, hell, look at the fucking titles of the songs, Well,
yeah,
actually,
there's a song called KKK Tattoo, yeah. which is like a single the band just released, which is about... the front man's like absentee father being a skinhead.
Good.
And like, I don't know. It's great. It's the most power violence you've ever heard, but it's great.
Fair enough.
And it's like I said, it's cool to see it do well.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
All right. Well, I got some things. Yeah. You know what, dude? You know what? You know what about Cannibal Corpse, Phoebe Bridgers? I don't know why she's on the cover. I'm happy to see her representation in the metal community, but I don't know why she's there. But this record is surprisingly good, and like what?
It's Cannibal Corpse. They don't miss.
But like, I went into this and I was like, I don't know what I expected out of Cannibal Corpse because I've listened to the hits. I've listened to their older records like once or twice. I just kind of expected some. Just like kind of gruggy death metal, right? Like, Herder, Brie death metal. But, I mean, obviously, that's not what they sound like. But, like, some of the tracks on here are super memorable and super technical. Maybe not... maybe not in the, like, technical death metal vein, but more, like, all these songs are just extremely well written and very proficiently performed and just composed. Like, Corpse Grinder's great. That hasn't changed one bit. And, like...
the rest of the band is obviously on point.
Yeah, and you know what? There is a distinct songwriting change here, I think, from their other stuff, and I don't remember who it is. They have a member from another band now. Oh my god. Okay. So they have an old Morbid Angel guitarist now.
Oh, gotcha. Which one?
Eric Rutan.
That makes sense.
And so this album has actually a really nice flow to it, rather than just being kind of, I guess, chunk on chunk death metal that we know and love. Yeah.
And then it does the thing where everything cuts out, and the left channel does one riff, and the right channel does one riff,
Yeah.
and then the drums do.
Yeah, none of that here. We have actual songwriting. I won't say it's the best record of the year by any means, but it is absolutely a pleasure to listen to.
I mean, look, there's a reason death metal heads like hail the Cannibal Corpse discography is perfect, because they don't miss. Every record is just immensely satisfying death metal. Like,
yeah.
Capital D death metal.
That's all it really comes down to, yeah.
And it's kind of funny because like we really did get into metal backwards. So
we did.
Going back and listening to Cannibal Corpse now is so fun.
I know it's weird. I listened to the Full of Hell live record. I
assume it's good.
Okay.
Really? I mean, we've seen Full of Hell a few times. They're always great.
Well, yeah. I mean, I agree. Maybe it's just the fact that like I don't even know really why it didn't like click with me. But I listened to it like once and I was like, yeah, all right. And then that was about it. I mean, it's Full of Hell live. It's hard hitting. You know, it's heavy as shit. Lots of noise. Lots of guitars going scree. Pretty good. But, you know, I'm not a live album guy anyway, so, you know, there's only
Adam
so much
hates live albums.
Let's see. What else? I feel like I
listening to Atoms for Peace.
Did I? What? No.
Oh my god, never mind. Sorry, that album cover in the bottom left of your 3x3 looks, which is the Full of Hell.
That's the Full of Hell
album. I now realize it looks identical to the Tom York Atoms for Peace cover. Also, I played Tom York yesterday because of a trainee on my radio station.
Yeah, there you go.
It was on my mind, I guess.
No, that's fine. That's fine. There's a Russian black metal record from a one-man outfit called Leshy, I believe is how it is, I guess, phonetically, like Leshy. But basically it's Goblin, right? And they dropped a demo earlier this year, and I didn't really discover it until like this and last week. And it's kind of similar to the Spectral Wound album, but a lot more raw, and there's actually some like acoustic and sort of stripped down passages on it. And it's really good. It is currently my Discord profile picture is the album cover, which with the little.
It's like 40 on ROM.
Yeah,
I was going through it yesterday.
It's doing pretty well.
Like, that's what Adam changed it to.
Yeah, no, it's pretty freaking good record. I would recommend it. The record in English is titled Full Dreams, but it is Pogyanyetsnie, I think, in Russian. As much as I may have butchered that.
Sounds poggy-woggy, bro.
It's pretty poggy-woggy. There's a couple of other records. Colonial Wound is a rather... they're a new metalcore band, like metalcore noise rock group, that put out an EP called Degradation that I really like. But other than that...
not just Ghost Reveries.
Yes, Ghost Reveries. And have you heard of this French post-rock band, Bruit? I know we talked about it, but apparently it exists, and I heard it, and I don't know, pretty freaking good. I heard what I heard last week.
What I heard last week.
Yeah. Oh shit! I actually. I guess we can talk about this in upcoming release. Well, it's not for a while. Do you know a new S-Oc Trillium is coming out in May?
No, I didn't. What?
New 12-song record. I Void Hanger.
Dude, does he sleep?
No. There is a single out.
I
But
can only imagine what it sounds like. Okay, now.
And have you heard the Van Weezer single?
Oh no.
The Van Weezer. There is a Van Weezer single out. So the track is I Need Some of That. Oh no, there's a couple. There's I Need Some of That, Hero, and the end of the game.
Yeah, the end of the game was okay.
I'm not excited, but we'll see what happens.
Oh,
What's gonna happen.
Yeah, dude, this year's like actually nuts. Like we have a Spectral Lore album coming out in like 2 days.
Don't even.
We have
Don't
an
even.
ASOC Trillium record. We already have Mare Cognitum. Spectral Wound came on this record. Like, are the planets just aligning or something?
They must fucking be. And it's tomorrow.
Like,
That Spectral Lore record.
I'm so excited. Like I swear, every week is just
More.
like Brooklyn indie
No.
snobs wet dream. Seriously. Did we talk about the Manbrin record last time?
Did we?
I don't know. It's good Polish black metal with, unfortunately, probably a Nazi on guitar.
Yep. Yeah, good record. Even though that one came out last year.
It did, was it? Okay, well, I'm just saying, Invisible
No, I know.
Oranges,
I know.
Brooklyn League.
Everyone else, I know.
Singing.
Oh, actually, wait.
Put Psychonaut on their lists for last year,
I know.
even though it came out in 2018.
I was gonna mention that actually. There's Psychonaut EP coming out, a split.
Oh, really? Dude, Behold the Godman is great.
Yes, I agree. They're splitting with, Savor. They're akin in many ways. Savor is a Norwegian group. I don't know what their deal is.
Have you heard of this band Elephant Tree?
Elephant Tree? Am I stupid? Maybe. Hold on.
So
Are they a metal band?
This is a little tangent, and then we can talk about Ghost Reveries. But so we listen to like primarily like curated, like taste-made picks from the broader metal underground, right? And normally the music we listen to ranges from good to like amazing.
Yeah.
And for the first time in like a long time, I heard mediocre metal, and it was Elephant Tree.
Oh, yeah.
They popped up in my Discover Weekly, and I was like, oh, whatever. I need to play some non-screamy stuff tomorrow. I'll just throw one of their songs in this playlist and play it, right? Oh my god. It's like the most generic. Like, we make fun of like Cult of Luna for being generic. Dude, we're talking like 7 minutes of one like post-metal riff with like the worst multi-track Aussie vocals you've ever heard over at the top of it.
There is a plethora of really mediocre doom, stoner, and sludge metal bands. There are a ton.
Except their aesthetic is like pretty similar to like ISIS or like
Right.
Cult of Luna or Oceanic or like, you know, all those. Any band on like Pelagic, right? You'd be like, oh, okay, cool. Right? It can't be that bad. And I don't know, I was surprised.
I mean, it's not. You're right. It's not bad. It is just.
It's just mediocre.
Yeah.
And I had someone on air with me yesterday. Like I was just showing them the ropes, and I put this on. I was like, oh my god, this is like a 5 out of 10.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I get that. Oh! Did you listen to KKB EP?
Bro, wait, the EP didn't come out, just the single.
Civilization 2 is out, bro.
Bro, Civilization 2 is out. Literally,
It's out.
What the heck am I doing?
listened to it.
Bro.
You're unbelievable.
All right, well, I know what I'm doing for the rest of the day.
Yeah, they're back. It's Pop KKB, but they're KKB, so it's good.
Dude, want to hear something horrible?
What?
They're, like, not that old than us.
No, I know.
Like, 5 years older than us.
Lay sigh, Sam. Lay sigh. That's all I can say. Ghost Reveries.
Adam looks behind him and sees, like, the Dakimakura of Sarah Midori Perry from Cara Carbonito.
Stupid.
Ghost Reveries is probably the best Opeth album.
Now, hold on. That's a bold statement, and I do not agree. I do think that it might be their best work, but I don't think it's the best Opeth album.
So I know exactly what you're gonna say. So hear me out. This record is perfect if you like prog.
Yes.
If you can deal with prog tropes and you can deal with like sort of the mishmashing of like 70s cheese with contemporary death metal and a very like Ackerfeltian sense of melody, this record is perfect. Every song is immaculate. It flows beautifully. And from front to back, it is just exactly what modern Opeth should be. It represents sort of the final evolution that started with My Arms.
Yes, I agree. Wholeheartedly.
That being said, the better metal record is probably Blackwater Park.
Yep.
But I think Ghost Reveries is a more consistent and more entertaining listen.
Oh, I don't agree with that one. Not one bit. But that is okay. I do think it might be important to put all that out there to begin, because I do think that will determine our thoughts for the rest of individual tracks and whatnot. But I agree. This record to me is a very different Opeth than the one that came before it. You got
keyboards.
You have a ton of keyboards. Even if like Blackwater Park or Still Life is certainly prog, like, no. This album...
No.
This is a prog album. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you know what? Going back, I was very surprised. Because I haven't listened to this record in years. But I was thrown off guard. Like, I know what the two pinnacles of the record holds, of course, because they're just both amazing tracks that you cannot...
like let's be real. Yeah. If you're a metalhead and you were born after the year 1995, you probably know every note to Ghost of Perdition, regardless of like the styles of metal you like.
Right. But like
it's just the best metal song ever. I mean, not really. I don't even think it's the best Opeth song, but it's a pretty great song, and for whatever reason, it's one of their more popular ones.
Yeah. But I mean,
no, dude, I agree. Like, this record kind of catches you off guard, because if you're just kind of expecting even like the Deliverance brand of like, death metal with prog, or Black Metal Park, it's death metal with prog. No. This is prog with death metal.
Yeah, it is distinctly different.
It's like Mr. Ackerfeld was just like butt chugging like Deep Purple and Jethro Tull and King Crimson and Genesis, and he was like, yeah, you know what?
No, let's do that. Let's do this one. Yeah, I don't know. For me, I don't think that helps Opeth in any way. At least my feelings toward them. I do have the sound that I prefer, and that will continue as we, go further down the ranks. Although I think we both, as the list or the position in the honorable mentions of the list indicated, we both are very big fans of Incauda Venenum, so who knows what the hell is going to happen with the next couple of records. I don't know. I could love Heritage, Sam. We don't even know.
Oh my god, yeah, Adam's like, dude, check this out.
Dude, guys.
Yeah, it's a Heritage back tattoo.
God.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think Ghost... Like, the thing... At the end of the day, I really do think Ghost Reveries is the strongest Opeth record. Because I think its flow and its, like, the individual compositions are better. And I think, like, you can clearly tell Michael's writing what he wants to write. And, like, this is the last record with the classic lineup. We got Lopez and Peter before they're gone. And they're, like, everyone, as, with the last, like, 8 Opeth records, is operating at the peak of their game. Like, the solos here, immaculate. The rhythm section here, immaculate. It sounds so goddamn good. All the performances are perfect. And the keys add a lot to these songs.
They do. They do.
And also, you can... this is the first Opeth record since Still Life that they had written almost the whole thing before they went into the studio. And you can tell.
Yeah, I mean, it's very expansive, very fully completely drawn out. They explore all the space that they want to explore. They really don't hold anything back. And while I do think that I am slightly frustrated when I listen to this album because I do expect things that I don't get because of the last, X amount of years of my Opeth experience. It is super enjoyable. And I automatically know what the hell the song that comes on is. I don't even know most of the, I'll be listening to this through and I'll have, other tabs pulled open or whatever on my computer. And I'm like, oh yeah, this riff, I know this riff, it's sick. And then I look back and I'm like, excuse, what song am I on? And I'm like, I'm on Atonement. And I'm like, hello? When did I get here? I don't know. I have a couple critiques of this album, but overall, yes. I mean, this album is just so well performed, so well written. It's Opeth doing, I guess, what Opeth will do for the next 13 years at the least.
Yeah, I mean, I really do think this is the prog fans' best Opeth album.
Oh, yeah.
And it makes total sense why AMG put this as his best album of the 2000s.
Yeah.
Because knowing what AMG likes, come on. Yeah. This is it to a T. But
also,
that being said...
No. Also, fuck you, AMG, for your 3 on that Spectral Lure record.
Oh my god, dude, we got beef.
I mean, we haven't heard it, obviously, but I don't believe.
ALOS does not write 3s.
Yeah, seriously. Even giving the Mistros a 3.5 was, giving me heart palpitations, so we'll have to see what this one has in store. Anyway, on track, what you were gonna say.
Yeah, I mean, I really think the only important thing context-wise to notice here is that at this point, Opeth had become pretty goddamn, universally successful. Touring off Damnation and Deliverance, they were kind of like a mainstream metal band at this point. And this was their first record released on Road Runner, which is obviously a gigantic...
big boy label.
Distribution all across the world. And, it sounds very, full. The production's clearly higher. I don't know. We'll get to all the tracks, but this record's goddamn incredible. Basically no low points. I think the whole thing flows beautifully from start to finish and is the crystallization of the death metal Opeth sound.
Maybe.
Ghost of
Mother.
Lingering death.
Now that is the way to start a record, huh?
Mother's bed.
Opeth seems to really know how to do that.
Yeah, I mean, what a friggin' way to start an album. You get these wacky, jazz chords. Boom, do, 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 do. And then right into that super iconic riff, the very iconic refrain. Down now, do, 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 down now, do, 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 do,
you got your classic Opeth here on Ghost of
Perdition. What's crazy about this, the more you listen to it, you just kind of notice how basically everything is accented by each other. Not only are the riffs angular as ever, but Mendez on the bass and Lopez on the drums is doing all these really subtle fills to sort of guide your ear to the different heights of the riff. And you got keys all of a sudden. And the keys sound great. And also, it's heavy as balls. And Michael's unleashing the vowels of Satan himself.
Yeah, I mean, I think that part of the reason that this is easily one of the most popular Opeth songs, and obviously most recognizable and well known, is it really does tackle everything that the band has up until this point accomplished, and everything that they're kind of going to accomplish too. Mm-hmm. This, I mean, I don't think there's a better song to start this record than this one, and obviously the band knew that going into it. Although it is strange that this track is one of the shorter, lengthy ones on the record, but only by a small margin.
Yeah, at 10:30.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I mean, you sort of see that the harsh, quiet dichotomy that we come to know and love at this point. The transitions, as with most peak Opeth, are just top notch. The way it goes in between sections is sick. I love how everything drops out and then Michael just chugs on the dun 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 before going into the devil who cracked the earthly shell, foretold she was the one who woke it. You know, we all know what it sounds like.
You have to live before you die young. Okay. Yeah, this song is just such a jam.
Yeah, like it's kind of impossible not to love, and you know, the refrain is really clever. I like how, you know, everything drops out and just gets Michael in the acoustic as he does the winding ever higher sort of refrain and does the yeah, da 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 da. Yeah, you know, I mean, it's so sick. You know, you got this nice 12-string guitar, and the way it sort of exits that's always really cool. Where you go back into the chugs, dun, 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 dun. And I think my favorite moment on this song, actually, is when it goes back into the gosh, what is it? Yeah, when it goes back into the original verse, and like Michael does like the sort of holding her down. Like, it's really nice build. It's clever songwriting. At this point in Opeth's career, they're no longer just positing riffs and then letting them hang. They're revisiting every idea at the right moment in the song, and you can tell. It makes the pieces feel a lot more fully fleshed out and just works.
I mean, absolutely. You know, like, there's a reason that all of these things stick in your head so easily. And going back on first listen, I was like, holy shit, this is so fresh, but so familiar at the same time. And that doesn't change. On every single listen, I'm like, oh my god, this is just, it's so good. Every time, I'm like, wow. You know, like, the band just does not stop on this track. And for the most of the record. You know, it really is, I guess if there's any two tracks that Opeth just kind of climax, like, peak Opeth songwriting, you got the bookends of this record. Because those are just, that's it. And if you're going to go down the, like, I guess you start in the death metal path, and then you peak at the in-between, and then you know, descend again at the prog. Obviously, that's just, like, I'm just switching between triangles. I'm not saying one's better than the other. But, like, these are certainly the best examples of how much Opeth can cram into one song and how brilliantly they can do it.
Yeah, no, I agree. And, like, Ghost of Mission has it all. You know, you have that really sick refrain with, like, the octave chords. Do, no, 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 no. You have the breakdown.
Yeah.
Ghost of Perdition.
Ghost of Perdition.
Like, it's absolutely sick. And, you know, I love the solo here, too, where it's, like, where Michael's tippity tapping. It's really cool. I like how it returns to the and then the way it ends is really cool too. Like it goes directly from the refrain into sort of like an extended Dream Theater-esque turnaround that leads directly into the Baying of the Hounds. And like from start to finish, the song is just kind of perfect. Like every riff is top songwriting, transitions amazing, has like 2 climaxes, both are great, has the heaviest shit breakdown, a tippity-tappity solo, and the whole thing is just coated in layers of immaculate production and performance.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't get much better than this. This is probably the best song, if not one of the better songs on the record.
Maybe in the whole Opeth catalog.
And obviously in the whole Opeth catalog. I mean, like, obviously, you can't really garner too much from the metal Spotify listeners, but, like, this is their, like, 3rd most listened to track. Only behind Window Pane and In My Time of Need. And
they're both crossover hits.
Right. And, like, you know, everything else just pales in comparison. You know, the most listened to songs, you got Window Pane, you got In My Time of Need, okay? You got Ghost of Perdition. Next is Sorceress. Okay? After that, Burden. Right? And then it just goes from there. And there's Blackwater Park doesn't even appear, which is mind-blowing. But, like, that makes such an impact, I guess, on what we have to think about this song as I guess, the musical statement that it is for the band.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's great. And there's not much more you can say. Like, I think if I have a very minor complaint, it's that initially the turnaround at the end kind of took me by surprise, but it really does lead kind of perfectly into the Baying of the Hounds. So,
you know, it's funny. The Baying of the Hounds. It's such an interesting song to me.
I hear the bang of the hound.
I hate the organ, but I love the organ. It's so, like, it's, oh my god. It's
no, I remember, dude, this record, like, honestly, like, Blackwater Park and even, like, Master of Puppets for me, for a long time was just sort of like, oh, I listened to Ghost of Perdition, I listened to The Grand Conjuration, and I just kind of assumed that the rest of the record wouldn't be as good, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, after listening to this record quite a few times, Baying of the Hounds, dude, heckin' slapper.
It is absolutely a slapper. I agree.
Yeah, oh my god, dude, that organ.
Yeah, I mean, it dominates the track in the best way that it can. When it's there. It's not always there. But yeah, no, this song is sick. I mean, even the "Here's the Bang of the Hounds," like, that's really iconic. The clean vocals are also as iconic as they were on the last track.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have a nice little, like, jazzy, almost crap. It's kind of like what I've only listened to a couple of Porcupine Tree songs, but, like,
no, it's totally a Porcupine Tree.
It's a Porcupine Tree song. And you know what? There's vocoder a lot on this too. So thanks, Steven, for your happy little influence there.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, honestly, what sticks out to me for Bang of the Hounds is just the flow. Like, Bang of the Hounds is not a, like, Ghost of Perdition obviously is not a traditional song, but it does kind of have an intro, verse, chorus, verse, climax, bridge, right? But Bang of the Hounds, start to finish, is just like section, 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 section. And it's kind of amazing how well it works. Like, you start off with the very heavy and very iconic.
Yeah.
And then you go into, like, a weird refrain, right? And then you get a clean part, and then suddenly, like, a Latin-inspired part where, like, the do-do-do. And throughout the whole thing, it still feels like very Opeth. It still feels like it's the same song, and it's just, like, building, like, the into the mire, drown desires now with you. Like, another thing about this record is every single part is singable. Like, even if you haven't heard it that much, they all just stick out in your head. And, one of our critiques of Orchid is just sort of the whole thing kind of blends together. And Ghost Reveries, despite using, basically the exact same palette on every single track, every moment feels very distinct.
Yeah, there is certainly a level of memorability that comes on this record that I feel like actually most Opeth records struggle with, or lack in comparatively.
I agree.
Not saying that other Opeth records aren't memorable. They are, believe me. Oh, believe me, I know.
No, I mean, I feel it. And I want to return to the structure, because to me, it really does stick out. Because, you got, like, this weird instrumental climax where Opeth does the thing where there's playing, like, a melody with octave chords, and, Michael's playing the rhythm part, and Peter's doing some Evo shenanigans, and it sounds really cool. But then, we get a part that sounds basically like the end of Demon of the Fall, like where they're doing the Michael Ackerfeld chords, where it's a nice open jazz chord, and he's moving the bass note, and it, like, loops pretty nicely. And then, after kind of that going on that for a while, it, like, picks up before we get another cinematic part, death metal riff. Do 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 do. It does that twice to end, and it's really sick. I don't know. Like, from start to finish, it's just awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, hey, you know what? We're continuing our trend with just giving every Opeth song a wow. This track's just great. But you know what?
Yeah,
Guess what?
it's almost like they don't miss.
They haven't missed yet.
But we haven't even talked about the lyrics of this album, though.
We haven't. And it is a concept album. Is it
Well,
not?
actually, it was supposed to be a concept album, and then Michael was like, screw this, I don't want to make it a concept album.
Lol.
But all the lyrics kind of like still tie into the theme to some extent. This is like the I will say, I think this record as a whole has better lyrics than Deliverance and Damnation. But they're by no means good.
I mean, it's just, I don't know, I mean, maybe it's a bit more focused than some of the other records, but it's still Opeth lyrics. They're not bad.
Yeah. I mean, you have like the signature blend of like, I don't know, fantasy bullshit with
Dark
like,
naturalism.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I don't know, some of the imagery is evocative. Like in verse 3 of Ghost.
Hey, you know what, dude? I haven't heard the word baying used in ever, honestly, aside from this context. I don't know if I've ever heard anyone...
I always, honestly, it always makes you think of Sherlock Holmes and the Hounds of Baskerville. Every time I hear the song, I'm like, whoa, Pogo.
Wow! No, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the lyrics, obviously, they're kind of important when you have clean vocals, or the very... listenable growl that Michael has, but like it doesn't take away from it that they're not.
And like I said, there is great imagery in here, and like I don't dislike them. It's just kind of like at this point in their career, you know, Michael knows what he's doing in lyrics, and that's just kind of shitting out like loosely tied together poetry, and that's fine because like the songs are so goddamn good on their own, and it's not like he's saying anything. Like if Michael was dropping like F-bombs and saying like overly edgy things, like I'd be annoyed and maybe it would take me out of it. But it's all just kind of like bullshit, like romantic pastiche.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. And I mean, do you know what's better than fine, dude?
Beneath the Mire.
Beneath the Mire.
This song's kind of a bop.
I know, it's super fun.
It did take me a while to get into that opening, I guess, Carney-like riff. I don't even know what to describe it other than that.
I feel you.
It's got a kind of Carney vibe, but no, I mean, this track has a really good flow too. And, you know, it's got its, like, kind of marchy tempo that's the drums just kind of keep in time for most of the at least a good part of the track. Song's probably in 4/4, but like that's okay. You know what?
It's okay.
We don't mind.
I mean, what I like about the song is like the way it sort of bounces between some ideas and then it kind of builds upon them throughout. Like you mentioned, like the Carney intro, which is very iconic and it's kind of funny, right? It reminds me of that moment. What's the song on Deliverance that has like literally the carnival moment?
Oh shit.
Goes to show you how memorable Deliverance is.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know the name. But I know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's sort of like that, except expanded upon a little, and it's really fun. And then it switches to like a more chordal, like epic sounding feel. Yeah. And then switches back and forth between that. And you know, by the time like Michael's coming in and doing like his like death metal like posturing, it works because you know they're still bouncing between that.
Yeah.
And I do like I don't know, the refrain here is great.
Oh no, I agree. I agree. Like hearing it's the Michael choir boy tenor again, but you know we sure as shit don't mind that. I don't mind it one bit. And
in a Holocaust scene memory.
Sam, that's gonna get us flagged on YouTube. I don't care. I don't give a shit. No, but yeah, even though it is, I guess, a more memey choral refrain, like I don't care about that anymore. It's Opeth, man. Michael's just too good at what he does to really comment anything like that. And
yeah. I will say, like, from the first two tracks, you kind of expect the song to go in a very different place, but it has a totally different B-side. You get, like, the instrumental break, and then you get, like, sort of a pickup of that, and gosh, what what? Now, what does it sound like? Like the
that classic off-time prog transition that's used in every band ever from the beginning of prog's existence.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I like the way this track transitions back into its full instrumentation from its break and the half. I think 4 minutes into the song, whatever it is.
Yeah. And I mean, it sort of portrays the full gamut, and it once again flows well without having a traditional structure. And the keys really do kind of make this song.
Yeah.
I love the decrepit body wearing transparent sin inside the smoke of failure. Like, it's a cool melody. It's kind of wonky, but it really works. And the part that I always think is hysterical, and when I'm listening to this record, I always chuckle out loud, is in the death metal section at the beginning. Whereas I thought of myself as a leader. What does that mean? Why is it so serious?
I don't know. I can't tell you. But yeah, I don't know. It's a meme.
I know it's very funny, but I don't know. It's the song slaps. It's kind of wacky. It's kind of goes in a few different places.
Yeah.
But once again, from start to finish, flows immaculately, and basically every technical aspect of the song is perfect.
The
solos here are super tasteful.
Yeah, and there's quite a few of them. You have the 3 guitar solos, including the ending one.
I think there are 3. Well, you have the very subtle Latin solo in the beginning. Then you have the more intense tappy one, and then you have the outro solo.
This track does kind of end weird, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's dun 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 dun, and then it just sort of fades out. But I mean, I think it's cool.
Yeah.
And we honestly, we haven't really talked about just how friggin' good Lopez is on this record.
No,
this is his best performance.
One could say he's in his prime here, which is kind of weird given the circumstances that surround this album and what precedes this album. But
and came right after.
Right. Yeah. Which I'm sure we will discuss at some point. But anyway, yes, it is incredibly impressive, his work on here.
Absolutely, every groove on this record is infectious. Especially in Harlequin Forest, which we'll talk about. But oh my god, I can't drum at all, but I find myself going bananas to every moment on this record.
Yeah.
He's always in the pocket. He's always making it consistently interesting. He's serving the song, and his fills are very tasteful.
Yeah, and I mean as someone who's trying to learn that instrument in particular, man, Lopez doesn't make it easy, man. He doesn't make the bar low one bit. The double bass work here is gross. It's so fast. It's all 30-second notes, and he's switching on and off from it. It's just it's stupid. And
octopus armed man.
No, seriously, and some of the work bouncing between the cymbals while managing the snare during those sections is just man's a beast. Modern metal drummers are beasts. Do not ever think anything otherwise.
I will say, the production sound on this record, as far as drums go, is distinctly more modern, but it still has the warmness we've come to associate with Lopez's.
Yeah, they're a bit punchier, but they still absolutely hold their.
And the cymbals here sound so good. He sort of hangs on the ride a lot in the slower sections of these songs, and he'll throw it on the offbeat, and it just consistently sounds awesome.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah, honestly, all the tones on this record are just like the mellotron on all these songs and like the classic for jazz organ sounds so good. Like,
Yeah.
I hate when bands overuse it. Like, I've listened to so much goddamn 70s prog. Looking at UELP, where the entire song is just like 8 minutes of jazz organ. And so it's really nice to hear them use it like in a very musical way.
Yeah. Not always in there, which is a good thing. Because I don't know if I could enjoy this record if that was the case.
Yeah.
And we'll get to all that at the end. But shall we move to another track?
Yeah, I mean, speaking of a song that uses mellotron well, like Atonement is a very interesting song because this is the break in the album. No, that happens after the opening salvo that we're used to.
Right.
Like normally, if you think of breaks, we have like Benighted, we have Harvest, what we have, I guess, I don't know, Silhouette.
Yeah, right. Silhouette. Wait.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Deliverance doesn't really have too much of a break.
Madrigal.
Oh yeah, Madrigal too. And I think this is really effective because it really keeps the pace of the record going. Like, we just have this absolutely coked out, like, Middle Eastern jam.
Yeah.
Where, you got Lopez going along while, like, Michael and Peter are trading off, like, harmonic minor solos and a nice mellotron over the top.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I don't know why it came about. I didn't want it to come about on this track. But I've been thinking about this for the last couple of days when thinking about this record. And this is bad, and this is not gonna sound good. But I do hear on this album a pretty distinct Tool influence.
Whoa, he said it.
I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but like you got the tabla worship on this track. a lot of the riffs on some of the other ones, I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. Let me rewind, and I'm like, oh my god, that is a Lateralis / 10,000 Days riff, and I just think it's kind of cool to see Opeth sort of bring a little bit of that into their sound. I could be just completely
now that
crazy.
You said it, I can't unhear.
But
it.
no, you
never.
No, but it is 100% there, and I didn't notice it until like now. Re-listening to it,
yeah,
because
and the usage of like the distinctly like Middle Eastern Egyptian
yes,
too.
Like,
oh gosh,
it is not. It's not only on this track, but I guess this track is certainly guilty of it. But like honestly, the whole record kind of has some parts and pieces taken from that catalog. Now. That is not that frankly that's a good thing. You shouldn't only keep yourself pigeonholed into one sound. You should absolutely explore your sound. And I think that Opeth uses that well. But I could not unhear it, and now you cannot unhear it.
Oh no, dude, what have you done to me?
Because it's there. It is.
Bro, this body, dude, this body holding me. Oh my god. Yeah, okay, well, ignore yeah, actually this song's kind of very Tool-y. This song actually sounds very much like Reflection.
Yeah.
Because it's the switch between like the guitar lead and then like a tabla. Oh my god. I mean, I will say I really like Michael's vocal melodies here, like the sort of understated verses. Cleared the fog that was veiled around me and blurred my soul. Like I like that.
Yeah.
And then the chorus or the refrain of the
Well, it is a really nice change of pace from basically everything else that the record has shown us at this point. And
it doesn't feel forced. It feels like a very natural progression through the rest of the songs, and once again, it leads perfectly into the next one.
And you know what? Even though I would consider it technically an interlude track, it doesn't feel like it one bit.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Which is certainly to the benefit of myself and the other people who hate interludes in the world. Yeah, no, obviously, a good track. Kind of brief, and there's not too much to talk about because it is rather stagnant. But it does keep the flow really well.
I mean, I think one thing to focus on if you're listening to this again, is just listen to how like the keys change throughout. Like, it's really clever. It builds in subtle ways. They're swapping out textures for others, and you have like a nice jazz solo at the end, or for the last little bit of the verse. And we didn't talk about it, but both Beneath the Mire and Atonement have like this thing where like they kind of cut off and then play like a riff that leads directly into the next song.
Right.
And for Atonement, it's the do no 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 no, and it leads directly into the do no 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 into the tree. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's not like the lyrics are literally like Opeth, so.
Yeah, and there's like 4 lines or something, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, like 4 on the whole song.
Not too many.
Now, if we're talking about best songs on the record, though,
I mean, what more can you ask for? Again, we're back. We're back to that old true question. You know,
bro, I'm sorry. This is like the funkiest Opeth groove in history. Like, you know, from moment one, you know, filtered guitar into the trees.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it's
and
just so goddamn
it doesn't
fun.
stop. They keep it sort of kind of bouncy the whole time.
I know, it's just, and like the chords are really fun, the vocal melodies are super fun, the keys are getting in on it, Melendez is doing some bass fills, and then the song just goes from this for like 11 minutes, and it feels like you just blinked and the whole thing was gone. I don't know. I think this song is actually the best song on the record.
I think
it's grown on me quite a bit.
I mean, you sure know why it's a live staple of theirs. I get it.
I really would recommend watching the Lamentations and the Royal Albert Hall performance of this song. Both awesome.
I've seen a couple of performances of it live, but
luckily Opeth has a lot of live albums.
Yes, they do.
And the refrain here is awesome too. Like a trail of sickness leading to me. Gosh, that's a little high, but you know.
It's all right. But yeah. No, it's it really, for some reason this song is just overall just so catchy, so intriguing, and it doesn't play, it plays a bit, and obviously, it breaks down like most good Opeth songs do, but it always keeps the, I guess, direction that it really sets out to.
Yeah,
theming is pretty good.
So, like, this song has so many memorable moments. Like, I always think of the instruments of death before me. Like, I'm sorry. If that is the coolest thing ever. And also, like, the transition into Harlequin Forest is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where, you get the do-do.
Yeah.
Do 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 do, boo boo do 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 do, and then it all comes back. These are
it's
do 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 do.
This song, Harlequin Forest is in particular the I guess the latter half is a really, I don't know what to like kind of put it to, because it is similar to something, but wow, it's just. This, for some reason, the vocals
honestly, do you know what it sounds
so
like?
well.
Do you know?
It's just
so
so
it's
hypnotic.
really similar. It's really similar to Epilogue from My Arms.
Now I gotta go listen to Epilogue, because that was so many albums ago, Sam.
Yeah, that was like 8 months ago. Come on.
Oh my God! Yeah. Okay. Except without the jazz organ that is in that song as well. But yeah, no, this song is sick. It's got a wonderful flow, and hell yeah, those guitar riffs are memorable.
Yeah, dude. Like, and I just love the vocal like leads in the last part, like, awaiting redemption. As they die alone with no one by their side. Like, it's so sick.
Yeah, it fluctuates up and down the vocal scale, which is really nice. We get to hear all parts of Michael's range. No.
Yeah, no, I agree. And like this has like a Deliverance-esque outro that's just sick.
Yeah.
Like it's super memorable. I don't know. Super fun.
As every prog death song should.
Yeah, right. And like I know I'm saying it a lot, but like what makes this record really stand out for me is just the sheer consistency that all these songs hold. Like aside from Ghost of Perdition, none of like which has probably the most traditional structure here. Like all the songs have basically no like rhyme or reason for working as well as they should, except just the sheer like level of consistency on display when it comes to like the riffs, the melodies, and like the composition. Like they all flow immaculately. They all flow immaculately together in one direction, and they sort of take all the lessons that Opeths learned from the past. Like on Still Life, they learned how to make good tunes through repetition and to have memorable riffs for the really like the first time. On Blackwater Park, they learned how to compose as an album, just an immaculate experience from start to finish, while incorporating like more traditional structures. On Deliverance, they learned how to get heavy as balls and to go in a million different places at once. And on Ghost Reveries, they sort of take all those things, put them into a blender, and sauce in like a really just high level of musicianship.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it.
I will say, I think the lyrics on Harlequin Forest in particular are really dumb, but like they're good. Like,
well, would you care to expand?
Like, dude, some of these lyrics are just horrible. Like, nocturnally helpless and weak in the light, depending on a prayer, facing deserted roads to find a seed of hope.
I mean,
like, I don't know. Like, you are the laughing stock of your generation. I don't know. I really don't think the lyrics are good, but
that's fine.
I don't care.
Again, redeemable.
And redeemable because like the song is just so good, and like all the moments are just great, and I don't know what else to say.
Right.
I think we're about to hit Adam's least favorite song on the record. So.
You know what? You'd be wrong.
Really? Yeah, no.
I actually like Hours of Wealth. I do.
Yeah, for a long time I was like, dude, this song's just cringe. This is Michael putting on his like blues dad hat and like holding out a pentatonic bend for like 5 minutes, Yeah. But it's actually just really nicely composed.
This song
serves
is great.
As a breather. Yeah.
I honestly really do enjoy this track. It is a good breather, and I think it's very well done. And I guess the problem I usually have with stuff like this is that it's just too short, and there's really not an emphasis on actually writing a song. It's just meant as a break. You know what? Hours of Wealth is an actual song. Even if it takes 3 minutes to get into it, fine. I'll take it. And you know what? Michael's got a good croon.
I know, and it's funny because he really is like talking about like non-Opeth stuff at all here. But no, it's really like you're right. The song is an awesome build. It has like it reminds me of gosh, what's the second instrumental song on Orchid?
The piano track that I can't remember the name of.
There's like a second one that was supposed to be the introduction to the last song on Orchid.
Requiem?
Yeah, Requiem. It sounds like Requiem, and it builds really nicely, and then everything falls out, and you just get like a jazz organ and a found a way to rid my sin.
It is really memey, but you know what? It is great. It is.
When I was younger, I always used to crack up on looking through my window.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
all days are in darkness, not biding my time. Once I am sure of my task, I will rise.
It's still Opeth, fiddling with experimentation and all that sort of stuff, and I'll commend them on it. Because you know what? This might not be my favorite song, but I do enjoy it, and I think it fits really well on the album. And
Oh yeah, totally. And like that final solo is it's so tasty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like all the jazz voicings are really nice. It like as always, it builds and flows nicely, and it's a perfect breather. Because like let's be real, we just heard the sickest song ever, and we're about to hear the sickest song ever.
Yeah. There's the Opeth interludes are never the worst interludes I hear all week.
Yeah,
that's
and what's
for
good
sure.
about Ghost Reveries is the interludes are songs. Like you have Atonement, which is just a jam, and you have Hours of Wealth, which is just a jam.
Absolutely. I will say, with confidence, I do not dislike any track on this record. Nor did I on Blackwater Park or others, but specifically, these are some of the better interlude tracks the band has written. Mm-hmm. Or actually begun to write. Oop. But yeah.
And then, we have that moment.
Yeah, man, I mean, it's just
like
that's it, like we've ended it. It's over. This song is just kind of nuts, man.
Yeah, oh my god, what a tune, from the intro to that signature riff, and then the whole it's in 6 and Lopez is doing his nice clave. And it is like this is the album's definitive fuck yeah moment, and it lasts for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like I read a blog post from 2005 on Reddit about this album, and it was about some kid who was driving through Florida while listening to it, and he was like, during the breakdown in the middle, I gripped my driver's wheel so hard that my knuckles turned white. I was like, yeah, all right.
My God. I mean, yeah, though, you kind of have to in this track. It's so intense. It works so well.
And what's funny about this song is it actually really just one riff for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just hamming home the bow now now for the entire song. But for some reason, it's interesting.
We get the nice little staccato melody right after you introduce the riff, and it gets heavier. It just continues to stay heavy.
Yeah, and you start adding strings, some mellotron, some guitars.
It's just a really nice balance and jumping continually back and forth between its themes and sort of what it does, and adds instruments every time.
The vocal licks here are just perfect, the majesty, faithful me. Pour yourself into me. And then the screams the eyes of the devil. Yeah. It's fucking sick. It's just so cool.
This song is just amazing. It's so heavy. Michael's vocals just nail it, and
oh yeah, totally.
It's just the vocals near the end of the track are so spooky. And it's perfect. It really is almost close to a perfect Opeth song.
No, totally.
They do it. They do it again.
You have the super angular Morbid Angel riff in the middle, which is awesome. Mm-hmm. You have the that awesome tappity guitar solo.
Yeah.
You have Michael has not one but 2 held out screams here that are just both so sick.
Yeah. I don't know.
And when you return to the intro riff at 6 minutes, it's so cool.
Yeah.
It just feels so right. And when oh my god. And it just feels so right. And when you finally return back to that final verse, it's oh my god, that's so fucking cool.
I can imagine that. Most of the tracks on here would just be amazing live, and I can really understand why. Because they really do reward your wanted and waited patient listening.
Mm-hmm.
Because you really are just kind of waiting for those moments to come back and explode again. Even when, Michael does the little hushed vocal whisper in the pre-chorus, like, 3 times, spread out throughout the song.
Uh-huh.
And, like, that last time when it jumps back into that, just that huge death metal part, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's perfect. And, like, what's crazy is that, like, the last 3 minutes of the song go back, like, they start off really aggressively with the intro, the do-no-no, and, Lopez is doing fills, and then it goes down again to the verse, and then it builds up to, like, the most intense version of the riff in the whole song.
Yeah.
Where, everyone's filling their asses off, you have keys that are matching it, you have a nice grrr, like, over the top of it, and like whispers, and it's just so cool. Yeah. I remember learning this on guitar and being so surprised at how simple it was. But this, like, one simple, like, melodic idea gets you through 10 minutes of one of the best Opeth songs.
All it takes is some clever songwriting. That's really it. And you can make a masterpiece like this one. Also, let's be real. It does the
Moonlapse. No, what is it?
Moonlapse.
What's the last song on Still Life called?
Yeah, Moonlapse Vertigo, right?
No, Moonlapse Vertigo is halfway through the album.
White Cluster.
Yeah, it does the White Cluster thing where you have, like, a nice subtle key riff that gives way into tick-a-doo, tick-a-doo, tick-a-doo. It's very cool. And I don't know, it just kind of, like, it works. Like, this is the closer. This is the penultimate badass moment.
Yeah. You can understand why. I mean, I don't know. There's another reason this song is one of the best Opeth songs. There's so many reasons. I mean, I don't know what else to say. The only thing I do have to say is I wish this was the last song on the record.
No, dude. I think Isolation Years is unironically one of the best Opeth songs. Like, AMG thinks it's the single strongest Opeth melody, and I'd agree. Like, dude, that chorus, dude.
Look, I'm not... It's a great song, but I don't know. I don't know.
Well, hear me out. I mean,
I don't know.
I think the way this album flows is this works perfectly as, like, the conclusion, the ending credits, the falling action to the Grand Conjuration.
That's fair. I do wish that I had a banger of a closer, though. I don't like closing up the record with a nice little bow. And if I do, I like it to be a big epic head smashing bow.
Well, I don't know.
Now, granted, that is personal taste, of course. I am going to prefer the ending of Blackwater Park to this purely on the reason that Blackwater Park is the statement that we are left with. Now, I'm not saying that I don't like Grand Conjuration or Isolation Years, but I do think that in this case, for myself, and maybe another small sect of music listeners, that the conclusion is better left memorable, big.
It's honestly not that different from Blackwater Park, because Blackwater Park is
yeah.
like a 45-second outro where it's just a couple chords going between them.
Well, I agree.
Isolation Years is just that, and except a full song.
You're right. I don't know. But no less, this song is amazing.
Yeah, it's sick. Like, you have, like, this really sinister, like, chordal melody. You have this, this very nice guitar lead. Once again, a very jazzy, like, rhythm section. It feels like something off of Damnation, except with a banger chorus.
It's Face of Melinda, but not cringe. Not that Face of Melinda's cringe, but, like, that song just feels kind of memey to me,
I feel you.
In
isolation.
Yeah, but this is a really pretty song with a really beautiful vocal performance, really wonderful instrumental performance. And it does wrap up the album well, albeit not to my personal taste. And,
yeah, no, I think it's a great way to end the record, just on like sort of like a nice descending note, and like it helps that the song is like amazing, like it's just well written, like verse, chorus, chorus.
Fair enough.
I don't know. I think it's a good way to end it. I mean, look, well, man, I honestly think Ghost Reveries is a 10. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think there are any flaws with this record. I think it's perfect.
You know, it's tough because I really can't point out a flaw either. Personally, occasionally, the prog tropes get a bit too much. Now, obviously, that is personal taste. And I've also been submersing myself in just raw black metal for the last year and a half. And I haven't really gone back to my prog roots in a little while. I don't remember the last time I listened to a Haken record, if that tells you anything.
Bro, I listened to Falling Back to Earth on air last week, and I almost had to change my pants.
I can imagine. But not that the prog hasn't rubbed off on me, in a positive way, but at this point, I feel more strongly about Blackwater Park than I do this record. Not that this album isn't a very high 9 or a 10, because I would agree with that.
Guys, I'm feeling a strong 9 to a 10.
Light 10.
I really do think it comes down to preference, because if you like prog and you're a big Opeth fan, you also like King Crimson, Genesis, and the more tropey modern stuff, then you'll probably like this record better than Blackwater Park. I do think they're about on par. The thing that puts it over Blackwater Park for me personally is that Blackwater Park, basically perfect, isn't as consistently entertaining. I think Blackwater Park is an amazing record, but, there are purposeful, breaks in its flow. Dirge for November and The Funeral Portrait are, purposefully dour. They're purposefully kind of a little drony. But I don't think as songs they're as interesting as, the middle section on Ghost Reveries, which I think is just kind of without flaw.
Well, yeah, Dirge for November in particular, because that's one of my personal favorite Opeth songs. It really does have, it's all about setting the mood on that track, and you could say the same thing for The Funeral Portrait. You establish the mood, then you have the death metal, and then it goes away again. And that's kind of what the theme, I guess, of Blackwater Park does, is it uses its progness to establish the vibe for the spookiness of the record, while the death metal, just death metals. I feel you. And Ghost Reveries is more prog than death metal. Definitely. Yeah, it is certainly a record that is not trying to beat you over the head, but, collectively weave together a more coherent and, I guess, cohesive piece of music.
Yeah, and I do think it's I really do think it's kind of a toss-up. I think most people, I think Blackwater Park is more wide-reaching in the metal community, but in the prog community, Ghost Reveries is sort of revered as the better record, which makes sense. Right?
Yeah. I think, and I said this at the beginning, and I'll say it again, this is probably the best record that Opeth has made, but I think that the best Opeth record, or at least at this point in our Opethyssy, the best Opeth
Heritage
album
is about to take first place.
The best Opeth album, the best album that is Opeth, that represents Opeth to me, is Blackwater Park. At this point, obviously they have a second half of their career that is just Ghost Reverie makeup. So you stay tuned.
Yeah, right. Well, so it kind of puts it in an interesting position, because I kind of agree with you. I do think Ghost Reveries is the best Opeth record, or I think it's the best record they made. I do think that Blackwater Park's the best Opeth record, but
yeah.
That being said, I'd probably rather listen to Ghost Reveries, because I think on a minute-to-minute basis, it's more consistent and more enjoyable. Well, we're really we're just going over the nitty-gritty here. But I do think it's a 10.
So where does it go then? Where does it go? Where do we put it? Where do we put it on the list?
I don't know. It's probably not. If we're ranking best Opeth records,
I mean, it's certainly in the top 2. You know, like there's no doubt about that.
I mean, I think it's better than Blackwater Park, but I understand why Blackwater Park probably deserves the crown.
I mean, you kind of just have to give it the crown.
It's like talking about Black Sabbath versus Paranoid, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Or like Master of Puppets versus Ride the Lightning.
Well, I don't know. I like the Black Sabbath comparison. But I don't know about the Ride the Lightning. Dude, when's the Metallica? Where's the Metallica?
We'll just die. We'll get to Saint Anger and I'll be like, tick, 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 tick.
Boom, boom, boom.
My life stop.
I need to find a trash.
My desktop.
I need to find a trash can. I don't have any.
Yeah, right. You gotta get a trash can.
I need a metal trash can.
A bad like James Hetfield like Saint Anger around my neck.
Metallica, we respect you for what you are.
No, dude, we do the Metallicacy, and then like Lulu would be number 1, and we'd actually be murdered.
I know, and you know what's scary is Lulu would probably be pretty far up there, knowing us. And you know what? I've been waiting for the day. We should do a Lulu cast because honestly,
Lulu's
I think it deserves one.
Ironically, a better album than Kill 'Em All.
I believe it. I do. Yeah. I don't know. I want to do a Lulu cast, dude. We should do a Lulu cast.
I am the table.
Oh my god. It's so funny that was the last record before fucking Hardwired. Yeah. Damn, that is, dude. That's you know what the genre tag on Rate Your Music listed as?
What?
Avant-garde metal. It's an avant-garde metal record. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, we shouldn't be talking about Lulu. We should be talking about.
So bottom to top, what's the ranking?
Orchid, Deliverance, Morning Rise. It just goes in order, right? My I'm Sure Hearse, Still Life, Damnation, Ghost Reveries, Blackwater Park. Yep.
See, now we're getting a little spicy.
A little spicy.
So the real question is like,
honestly,
don't get me wrong, I've listened to Watershed a lot, but I haven't listened to it intently in a while. You know?
Yeah, me neither.
And I kind of know where I'm gonna stand because I don't know. I think for a long time I was with like the Zoomer take on Watershed because a lot of younger Opeth fans like Watershed. They think it's one of their better death metal records. But you know, now that we've become boomers and we've listened to all of the old Opeth records, I have a feeling we're gonna rank it like pretty low.
I think so too, but I don't think that's a bad thing. You know, these are also all above an 8 so far.
Yeah, I mean,
so
I don't think any Opeth records below. Yeah, I think up until 2011, there's no Opeth record that's like below an 8.
Yeah, so we're not giving them shit. We're ranking them based on our personal opinion. That's fine. But anyway, yeah, that has been this chapter of the Opethyssy.
All right, ready to talk about some news, dude?
Ted Nugent responded to the comments that we made in that we highlighted in the last podcast. So, very briefly, I'd like to go back and describe.
Yeah,
what
he has COVID now. After calling it a Chinese hoax for like a year, he has COVID, and he said he almost died. Yeah, it's poetic, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It really is. Fucking stupid, dude. I'm sorry. Christ. It's dumb, dude. Well,
it's stupid that this man has a platform.
It's unbelievable. I don't really have too much news, but I saw a story about this couple who had their they had their first wedding dance to You Suffer,
bro.
And you know what? Honestly, that's respectable.
No, I agree. That's cool.
That is hysterical.
That's pretty funny. I don't know. I have a decent, like, not a crazy amount, dude. You ready for the Mudvayne reunion?
No.
That video you sent me where Dig goes with everything.
Oh my god! Isn't it?
Like, why does it work so well?
It's just kind of generic.
Burr dang, burr dang.
I don't know why. The Wednesday 13. Wednesday 13 is the vocalist of Murder Dolls, right? And he basically he backed Manson. He said that innocent until proven guilty, which is true. But I wouldn't be in the industry and side with a kind of clear opposite. Yeah. But that's fine. Hey, you know what? We had a win for the country this year. This week.
What was the win, Adam?
The fucking
the pigs rotting in hell.
John Schaefer was released on bail.
Oh, I was thought. Yeah. Different authority figure in the right wing discourse, but
yes, no, I know what you're talking about. I don't. I'm not. We're not a modern politics podcast. But yes, John Schaefer actually pleaded guilty to 2 charges. But was released on bail. So very interesting things happening.
Yeah, and it's funny because he literally stormed the Capitol and then ratted on everyone around him. Did you know that Iced Earth's last album is like a concept album about the Civil War?
Wait. Which is it from 2017?
It's the one that we have.
The one I own?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No!
Dude, look at Incorruptible. Look at the lyrics for "Clear the Way."
This is a tragedy.
Yeah,
It is a tragedy.
You can't see. Adam just went to his CD case.
For all the podcast viewers at home, I don't know if Sam literally just said this.
Yeah, I did just say it.
But you know, I should film myself burning this. I really should. And throw it in the podcast.
Yeah, dude, seriously, look at the lyrics for "Clear the Way" and try not to scream.
Visibly opens liner notes. You know what? This is funny because this is at a time in my life, and I have no problem saying this, where I would blind get albums because I didn't know about... Well, I knew about Bandcamp, but I didn't have a Spotify. So I was like, I'm not gonna... How can I listen to this music? I gotta go get this music. Like people used to fucking listen to albums,
like the
right?
90s.
Right. So, I have this record. I've listened to it like once or twice and never ever again because it's just not good power metal. But let me just By the way, I don't know, you can't, the audience can't see this, but that is so difficult to fucking read. I'm sorry, but like, I have to literally squint to read.
You can just Google it, right?
Yeah, but I have it right here. I have it open on my fucking... Oh my god. Oh my... okay. I'm already done. The first 3 lines have me sickened. And that's all that needs to be said. This record is not staying on the shelf.
It's unironically about, like, a battle that the Confederacy won during the Civil War against the Northern aggressor. Like, how did we let this happen?
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know.
We should have known, bro.
We should.
Lyrics and music by John Schaefer, by the way.
Of course. Wow. But, bro, there's an Indian in here. It can't be it can't be racist.
Oh, let's not use the term Indian. It's 2021.
That's true. It is a native North American person.
Speaking of good news, we got, dude, Contortionist live stream.
Bro, I was gonna say it. Oh my goodness. Dude, my finger has been on the fucking cart button the entire week. I'm waiting. I'm deciding whether I want a shirt. I mean, I know it's a live stream concert, but like, dude, come on. Like, I can't watch a Contortionist show and leave empty-handed, okay?
No, I feel ya.
But yeah, no, I'm very excited for that show in a month. 2 days before my birthday. So go find that out for the people at home, because I'm not going to say it on the air. But yeah, no, that's very exciting.
We also have, speaking of better artists, new Fear Factory song. You listen to it?
I did.
It's literally like, okay, is it just me or Fear Factory just like shit tier Meshuggah with bad choruses?
No, they are. Well, no, it's not even Meshuggah. It's just you understand, Sam. Groove metal came from Gent. Well, more specifically from Meshuggah. And it's just Gent. It's just bad. It's just a reverse card of Gent, man. You know, this is the inverse reality Gent. This is like in the Matrix when they go into like the other Matrix, and then that's what groove metal is.
Dude, well, okay, no, but like literally,
Jen.
like the first like minute of this song just sounded like a bad Meshuggah track.
Yeah.
Like almost identical to like something off of like Destroy, Erase, Improve.
People love it, and I think I know why. I mean, I get it.
Dude, this is like one of those bands that just like blows my mind that they're still a thing. Like,
yeah,
we gotta have like a Fear Factory cast where we just talk about all the drama from the past 10 years or so.
Yeah, we just gotta have Dino on, man.
Dude, let's have Dino and Burton Seabell on.
We don't tell, dude. We do the classic trope of 2 dates to the prom. But yeah, no, it's Fear Factory.
Yeah, no, the song sucks. I can't wait for this album to come out. And then we can be like, yo, dude, this is actually worse than we expected.
Yeah. All right, let me see if I can...
dude.
Oh! Chemist bassist left.
Dude, I know!
What the frick?!
I mean, to be fair, like, it seems like there was no bad blood.
No.
It just seems like this happens all the time with, like, bands at, like, Chemist's level who are, like, decently big, but not, like, you know, big. Like a lot of times, like 1 or 2 members will leave because like it's just it's a really hard lifestyle.
Yep.
And COVID probably didn't help, you know.
Nope. He's been there from the beginning too, which sucks.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, rip. Big rip.
We got, dude, Avenged Sevenfold achieves 2 platinum albums.
Oh shit, really?
From the RIAA. Yeah, Hail to the King and Nightmare, and then I'm pretty sure City of Evil is already platinum.
Wow.
Which is, it's funny because, you know, I think of like, obviously Avenged Sevenfold are huge, but like, we don't really hear them talked about that much because of the scenes we frequent. And so when you hear that, it's like, oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? The Stage is honestly a good record.
Dude, Avenged Sevenfold's not bad, man. And you know what? I mean, obviously the Rev was fucking incredible. But like, yeah, I mean, the Stage was not too shabby.
Yeah, and I mean, like
record.
Nightmare and City of Evil and even their self-titles are all pretty good. Not a huge fan of Hail to the King, but
no, they're a singles band certainly, but they honestly rock it. And I will say, as someone who used to listen to a ton of early 2010s radio rock, Avenged Sevenfold is the cream of the crop. You know, like that's the best shit you're gonna get out of that stuff.
What? Okay. I didn't know Hail to the King had over 300 million plays.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Wow, is the Stage their highest rated? Holy shit, that's weird.
Yeah, dude, the Stage is like kind of based.
I know the Stage. It's an alright record. But yeah,
gosh. No. Also Tool are 3 Tool albums are now certified double and triple platinum.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's just kind of about time, but.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like no other cool news has happened.
Not too much. Not
There's
too
so
much.
many releases though, dude.
Yeah, man. There's a ton of new music coming, and has been still just permeated.
Yeah, the underground really never sleeps.
No, new Paysage comes out tomorrow. Spectral
Bro,
Lore.
stop.
You got
Bro.
oh, I thought it would have been more. There's a ton of underground. I mean, there's a metric ton of underground stuff. Oh, wait a
Death
minute.
Chamber, dude.
Wait a minute. Oh shit! There's a new Circle. The Circle. You know the Circle.
Yep.
Heard of them? Heard of them? They're pretty big.
Sylvatica.
New Victory Over the Sun. That's exciting. Their record last year was pretty interesting. That's One Woman Project.
Hey, wait, is there a new Ultrage album coming too?
Soon, I think. Not tomorrow, but eventually.
No, it's coming tomorrow.
Yeah,
Jesus,
alright.
dude.
Yeah.
Why is April so
Okay.
good this year for music?
I don't know. It is. It just is.
Sorry, too bad. I'll be listening to Civilization 2 by Caro Benito.
That's also true. That was a good record. Good little EP. And
Scott
I'm not a
Dream,
KKB
Scott Dream.
fan. Hold on.
Scott Dream.
Let me see what the hell else we got. Let me check my various sources.
And don't you wanna cry?
That's no. Yeah, I don't know, man. There's a lot of stuff coming out.
Yeah, Adam, bro, it's okay. I know you like tramp stamps.
Dude, I don't even want to talk about tramp stamps again. I briefly talked about tramp stamps on my other podcast, and just wow, man, it is unbelievable how bad that music is, and how much worse their social media presence is. I don't know if you've seen.
I mean, I don't think everything's great. I don't think it's like that bad.
I think it's pretty bad, man. Dude,
I mean,
I'm sorry. They give pop punk. They give pop punk a bad name, and they are not pop punk.
yeah, I don't know. Dude, are they industry plants though?
Dude, they're signed to major publishing companies. Every one of them.
Well, I think it depends on how you define the term, but I think there is a slight gray area.
I think that sure they've known each other for a while, and maybe they wrote their own music, but just, the whole thing feels so incredibly forced. And I mean, I've watched their TikToks, and it looks like they're being held at gunpoint, dude, to do this stuff. I can't see it for anything other than completely fake.
Yeah,
or like
definitely.
completely manufactured.
Well, do you know what's interesting is like this probably wouldn't have happened if MGK didn't achieve like huge commercial success last year, which is horrible to think of, but
it's true. And I mean, like, I don't know, man.
Bro,
like,
what's the MG what's the Machine Gun Kelly fucking corpse song?
I don't know.
Where it's like, I'll never be the same. I want to know if I tell you a secret.
It's Daywalker. It's a brand new one that just came out on March 12th.
Oh my god.
It's just, yeah, it is.
Yeah, I don't know. There's another podcast to talk about this. In the meantime, I'll be banging the If I Die First a new EP.
All right, dude. I figured it out. By the way. Since we're talking about If I Die, I figured it out. No, dude, they suck, dude. And that song sucks. That song sucks. My Nightmares with Dune Numbers as horror movies. And Bloodstained Eyes.
Dude, Bloodstained Eyes is awesome.
I'm sorry, but See You Space Cowboy had such a fresh and invigorating sound. And they threw it away.
Dude, okay, that wasn't a fresh and invigorating sound. They were just doing 2005 mathcore with like a slightly modern twist.
And that's... sign me up! They're doing the same as everyone else in the industry right now that is in their genre, man. It's the same as Wrist Meet Razor. It's the same as all that other bullshit. They're all just ripping off one another.
We're seeing like a big like late 2000s like mall screamo revival.
It's
and
all
honestly,
bad.
I don't
it's
hate
all
it.
Bad.
I feel like, you know, having to listen to like all indie and like versions of like pop and like emo and stuff for the radio stations just tainted me, and I unironically enjoy like the mall screamo adjacent stuff.
All right, I understand why people like this music, and I don't fault anyone for liking it.
It would be pretty fun live.
It would be very fun live. I'll give you that. I wish, and particularly in the case of See You Space Cowboy, wish that they just. I mean, how long have they been performing their mathcore? How long? Because they've been in the game for a while. Yeah, a couple of years, right? And I mean, that compilation that came out in, 2019, 2018, something like that, is just like, I don't know, it's so... it's an injection that scene needed, for sure. And then, I mean, their live record, or not their live record, their full-length, like, I don't know, I mean, I wasn't a fan. I don't think most people were fans. It was certainly a direction down a road that I didn't necessarily want them to turn down, but I'm glad that they turned down it for their sake. Obviously, do what you want as a musician. But I don't know. Something about the bloodstained eyes, and If I Die First, like, it just, man, it really does not hit with me.
With See You Space Cowboy in particular, the reason why they've kind of like not been great is because, like, look at their lineup changes, dude. They've had like literally like 18 different drummers and bassists in the past like 3 years.
That's
like,
true.
And then they're like the only person that's been consistent in their entire lineup is Connie, as the vocalist. Mm-hmm. Every other person has like left and like been rotating constantly, and like you see that with a lot of like young bands who blow up pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's fair, but it does not make me a happy panda. Okay, I want my things to be heavier and go burr.
I actually like the new Wrist Meet Razor single.
That is a travesty, and I'm sorry that you've fallen into that
good.
trap. No, it will not. I'm sorry,
dude,
Sam.
It's getting a lot of hype in like the scene.
Then I don't like that scene. Rumph. Not that I don't like the scene. Please continue underground independent music scenes, please, for God's sakes. Just because I don't like the music that your scene produces doesn't mean...
I mean, let's be real. Misery Never Forgets is not a good record.
Holy shit, that album's bad. I'm sorry. I am not excited for the Wrist Meet Razor. I will listen to it, and I will cry when I do, but I hope that, you enjoy it. You know what, though? I said it in my review, that is the most read review on our Bandcamp, or on our blog. Again, for no reason. Their EPs are good. From, like, I think 2017. Like, those are good EPs, and I do enjoy them. I feel like they're really... You know what it is? I think I figured it out. I think it's not leaning hard enough into the sasscore.
Really?
I really do think, because if they went all the way, like they kind of do on the on Songs for the Firing Squad, I feel like all these bands would instantly improve if they just gave in to that kind of really weird blend of sounds that they're just kind of just touching.
No, I feel you.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's easy to look at it as like a commercial decision too, because like, especially with like the scene revival, like friggin', I think like Dear Maria just like literally re-entered the top 100 this week, like no joke. And so I mean I see it if like you're a like a hardcore band like on the periphery of like larger success. I can see where like playing a slightly like more mainstream version of the song or your sound could possibly like market to that renaissance.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
although you know what,
I unironically enjoy the If I Die First songs.
The Wrist Meet Razor vocalist has a grindcore solo project like a noise grind solo project, and I actively enjoy it more than I do anything that band has put out previously. So I don't know.
Fair.
I don't know.
Oh, dude, new
I don't
Portal
know.
song. You see that?
New what? Portal?
New Portal song.
Oh, Portal! Oh!
Yeah, the Portal, dude.
Don't even tell me we're getting a new Portal record this year. We're at the point where we can enjoy that album now. We can enjoy that music now. Yeah. All right. That will be listened to after the podcast is done recording.
Any last minute additions?
Oh my God, we have a new Portal album. It's called Avow. Comes out in May. Anyway, it's 6 songs, 43 minutes. No, I don't know. Watershed. Thursday. Chapter 9. Chapter 9? That's crazy.
Is that really their 9th album? That was their
Yeah.
9th, right?
No, that's their 9th. Hold on.
Oh yeah, well if we're counting Damnation and Deliverance as separate.
They were considered different in our
I don't think you're
deliberation.
gonna like Watershed that much.
No, I don't think I will either. I remember. I've listened to Watershed more than I have Ghost Reveries.
Really interesting.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
I don't know.
I know how Heir Apparent goes very well,
Yeah,
as well as they do Hessian Peel.
I'm gonna be real. I think the B-side of Watershed's pretty underwhelming. Like, I think the first 4 songs are great, and then like the other half just a little boring.
But we'll get into that next week.
On PMMetalGuide episode 30.
It's hold on. Well, let's clarify that.
I think it's
please.
29 actually.
This one is 27. You're wrong.
So next week's 28. Wow.
You're a dingleberry, dude.
Bro.
Dude, aha, you got got. Aha. Yeah, all right.
All right.
Bye.
See ya. Talk to you next week.
Here's the outro music.